So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're talking about the sophomore album by the band Hands of Cailleach, and they're a band from Edinburgh, Scotland, and they're a duo of husband and wife, John and Sophie. And they're signed now to Prosthetic Records with this record. And this is an album that is best described as like a epic folk metal with death metal elements and some progressive elements to it. And this album is a concept about the Corryach, which is a area in the ocean near the Scottish islands where there's like a third whirlpool in the world, the third giant whirlpool in the world. And the album is inspired by the legend of the Cailleach, which is a kind of like a creature, a hag that lives in the bottom of the Corryach. And once winter comes, she comes out of the waters and spreads winter all across the globe. So yeah, this is very interesting. She's the ancient witch god of winter from Scottish Celtic mythology. So this is an album that really is very interesting because they borrow that history mythology and they use it in all of the songs, which is very interesting. You know, it's 9 songs, and this is a record that is best described because both Sophie and John both do vocals. John does more of the harsher death metal vocals, the growling, and Sophie does like the beautiful melodic singing. It sounds like, you know, she sounds like a fairy from Lord of the Rings, comes alive and sings to you. And I think this duality of the harshness with the beautiful creates a very like beautiful symmetry. And I think because they're, you know, their husband and wife, they really seem to like be very connected. And the way that the vocals flow on this album, to me, it's the highlight, because I think none of the vocals take over. They sometimes exist dually, like they're doing it together. Like there's a part where you have the harsher vocals, then you get the melodic clean singing, and it's just gives that extra layer to the track. So the album starts with the song Free Seas, and Free Seas is all about where the seas connect to create the Corryach, and at the bottom of it, the Cailleach lives. So it's a song that starts more, Sophie starts more with the beautiful singing. It really eases you into the album because it doesn't start abrasive. It knows how to start in a way that it's soothing to the ears. But then they go into the single that's Fell Rains. And on that one's really more powerful. You get great guitar melodies from this one. And here John really shines with the aggressive vocals, and Sophie's vocals are more on the background on this one. Like she sings softly on some parts, and it like kind of soothes the ear. And for those of you that don't know, I got like a huge PDF explaining all this mythology and history for this album. But I do not want to spoil it all, because I think this is an album that is best enjoyed with some mystery to it. And they sing in English, but they also sing in another language, in Cailleach. And those sections sound very beautiful and epic. And once you get the translations, you can understand. But yeah, I think I like it that they use the English and that language, because it really goes into the themes of the mythology that they're trying to convey on this album. And so Fell Rains introduces the 8 attendants of the Cailleach. There is very little written about them in the mythology, other than that they are very ancient themselves. So telling their story here, they're telling how they come out and they do like what the Cailleach orders. And after that, they go on a song called Diochaltas, which means vengeance. And this is a more hateful song. This is there's more like death, aggressive metal on this one. And I like it because that's when you can tell that the band can also be aggressive. And sometimes folk music tends to be like very dancey with all those instruments, but here the folk elements are there, but they do not like take over fully for the music. So I think that is a plus for me. Then they go on a track like Siren Croing, and that's the name of like a creature that lives also at the bottom of the Corryvreckan, and it's apparently in the mythology it used to eat like 7 whales a day. So yeah, quite an appetite. And that one is also epic in nature. There's some parts of that chorus that Sophie sings in Cailleach Shouts poem, and that adds like a playfulness to it, like it like a nursery rhyme in that part. Then you have a song that is straight up more death metal with Deathless. Then it follows the Hubris and Prince Briacian, and that's about the origins of how the Corryvreckan was formed and how it is, you know, the legend is that the prince named Bracan, who was in love with the daughter of the Lord of the Isles, he was there, and you know, stuff happened, epic stuff that if you want to hear some history, you should read it. So, but it feels like another epic journey. Then they go into Unbroken the Remain, and that song is straightforward, more it's a shorter song, really more like death metal, like guitars to it, and apparently I was reading it's the most hopeful song and I wouldn't guess because it's more aggressive. And then they follow with the Cauldron, which combines more reference from how the Corryvreckan is they borrowed something from Irish mythology of a magical cauldron, and they're comparing the cauldron, you know, to the whirlpool. So it's quite interesting. And again, there's a lot of folk elements on this song that really go well, and the dual vocals of Sophie and John, perfect. And they close the album with Twilight and the Pyre, and that one starts very softly with Sophie singing to you. And this song is about, you know, the final resting place of the Cailleach after winter is done. Apparently, you know, she dies, so it's the changing of the seasons, and she ascends, or in this case, you know, goes to the bottom of the Corryvreckan to come back the year after. So that one starts softly, and I think it's good because it starts like the album began. So it's like a full cycle, if you will. But at the 3.5 minute marks, you get John's aggressive vocals, and it ends on a very epic nature. So yeah, this is an album that I think would appeal to anyone who likes mythology, history, and if you like epic folk metal with death metal and progressive tendencies, you will like this. Also, I interviewed the band, Sophie and John. They're lovely people. So I think you should listen to this album because you know, it's a great album. It's fun, and also you get to learn. And who doesn't want to learn stuff? Like, I know I do. And the concept is great, and how they do it, it's interesting without going in the cheesy territory, and that's a good thing. So I want to know, what do you think of Hands of Cailleach, Corryvreckan? Have you heard this album? What are your favorite tracks? Comment, I would want to know. And if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to give me a like, and do not forget to subscribe. I have more content on the way. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the shield dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you, and goodbye.